Marvel Legends fans have long known the Build-A-Figure concept, but in recent years, it's been fading away as a Hasbro practice. What many people forget though, is that the 3.7-inch Star Wars line had this feature as well. In happier times, waves of figures would come packed with pieces to assemble a full droid. This Build-A-Droid system had its own pros and cons compared to the Marvel Legends version, sometimes making it better, sometimes worse. Let's take a look back at the Build-A-Droid series of figures and explore how they elevated collecting for us back then. In 2008, the Legacy Collection brought back the classic droid factory concept of building their own droid. Figures in the line each came packed with a different droid part, and the beauty was that you could mix and match pieces just like today's droid factory figures. It really catered to everyone. Adults could chase down exclusive figures by completing the whole wave, while kids could just have fun mashing together their own creations. Honestly, I'm probably still mixing and matching my own builds to this day. We can't ignore the Franken droid gimmick either. I see all of you custom figure builders online, so having all these parts to make those weird droids in the back was made easier by the Legacy Collection. I also appreciate that not completing a wave just gave you more parts to add to the scrap bin. This mostly caters to diorama or hardcore collectors like myself, but any spare droid parts doubled as background props for Sandcrawler displays, Jawa accessories, or store items. This is something you can't do with a random Spider-Man leg you get from a Marvel Legends wave unless you're some sick twisted diorama builder creating a horror display. Or maybe you're tapping into the Marvel Zombies thing. I mean, did you guys see Spider-Man just pull all those zombies? Anyways, it wasn't all R2 units or 3POs. Hasbro went deep, giving us iconic and unique picks. I'm talking fan favorites like HK-47, L8, L9, the J9 worker droid, and the Death Star droid. They even gave us C-3PX straight out of his short comic run. As a Star Wars fan, it was a dream come true. Suddenly, all the glup shittos I loved from comics, games, and books were becoming real, physical figures I could add to my shelf. This setup allowed Hasbro to release obscure characters without needing to cart them individually, but like Marvel Legends, it came with its own problems. Some collectors would have preferred the proper carded releases, while others just wanted the standalone figures without chasing down droid parts. Getting a couple R2 units pieces as freebies didn't sting so bad, but where the model really showed its flaws was the Phase 3 Dark Trooper wave. Every single piece of that tank of a figure was locked behind a Walmart exclusive lineup. To make it worse, it required 5 parts, and every figure was sold as a 2-pack at a higher price point. Completing the Dark Trooper became a costly project. That being said, Legends fans did get rewarded with some gems. Rare figures like Corran Horn, Whistler, and a Cortosis battle droid stood out, and Hasbro tried to balance things by including icons like General Grievous, Anakin, Boba Fett, and Darth Maul as the second in these 2-packs. For all the problems with the Build-A-Figure model, scalping, FOMO, unfinished sets, or being forced to buy figures you didn't really want just for the part, I still think it was one of the best collector-friendly gimmicks. There's just something so exciting about opening a figure and getting that extra piece, like you're being rewarded for being a collector. It had its downsides, but finally completing a droid always felt worth it, especially when it tied your whole display together. I feel like game characters kind of get ignored, or they become this very niche, very collectible item that needs to be released by NECA. So seeing fans get the beloved HK droid or even the Dark Trooper is such a treat. Of course, all great things come to an end. By 2010, as the vintage collection took over, most of the other 3.7-inch lines faded away to make room for movie-driven waves. The droid parts disappeared, but the idea wasn't forgotten. Disney saw the magic that we all saw in it and repurposed it in a worse way. Instead of pack-ins, droids became carded Disney exclusives. Build-A-Droid bins were set up in like small toy sections around the parks, and multi 4-packs were scattered around. These were great for getting new droids from current shows like The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, but they definitely carry a Disney tax. Many are park exclusives, online only, or tied to downtown Disney with extra costs like parking fees tacked on. And while I appreciate the fun of seasonal, holiday, or pride-themed droids, I can't help but miss the deeper cut or expanded universe nods Hasbro used to give us. At the end of the day, it's about the money. That said, I will commend Disney for 2 things. First, letting kids build their own droids in the parks, which is a fantastic way to pull in new fans, And second, releasing a Sandcrawler playset to tie it all together. The paint apps leave a lot to be desired, but play features and display options make it a solid win in my book. The death of the Build-A-Droid model really comes down to shifting business priorities. Disney gets to sell the cute, colorful droids to kids and casual collectors, while Hasbro leans into the clean vintage card backs and the Black Series, focusing more on the adult collector market than on kids. I get it, but I can't help wishing we'd see little gimmicks like this make a comeback, even the weird experiments. Like when they had an interactive battle game in figures. It made the line feel fresh and exciting. I'm afraid if they put some droid accessory in, they would try to sell it as a deluxe figure and just raise the price on it, so it's not even worth it. The Legacy collection was just an exciting time to be collecting figures. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.